Welcome, guests. We will now begin the Northeastern University College of Professional Studies hooding and graduation ceremony. The processions of graduates and the faculty advisors will now begin. Would all doctoral candidates and your guests please rise as you're able for the processions of the platform party. invite you to be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce Senior Vice Provost and Senior Vice Chancellor, Mary Ludden.
Thank you, Dr. Alexis. Good morning, doctors. How excited are you? Congratulations. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to your families. Welcome to friends, faculty, and staff. It is a privilege and sincere pleasure to see all of you assembled here today on this day of culmination and hope. Today, we recognize the creativity, resilience, optimism, venturesome spirit, intellectual toughness, and devotion to scholarship that each of you doctors has demonstrated over the course of this years-long academic journey, and may I add, through a pandemic. Your friends and family, many of whom are with you today, have been by your side, cheering you on. Thanks to their steady support and your own impressive fortitude, you have sustained your commitment to your studies despite extraordinary challenges and in the midst of worldwide disruption. We are all deeply proud of what you have accomplished. In the best tradition, yes, please. In the best tradition of Northeastern University, you have engaged the world fearlessly, passionately pursuing the questions that have blazed in your minds and kindled your curiosity. Each of you represents the best of Northeastern University and the promise that we make to the world to develop citizen scholars with the confidence and skill to engage the urgent, complex problems of our time. Now you join the growing network of Northeastern graduates, adding your knowledge and experience to a diverse and far-reaching professional community that will always be available to you for the rest of your lives. The full significance of your studies may not be obvious today. Your work has joined our store of knowledge, and other scholars may now pick up where you have left off, venturing towards the horizons you have opened. Our shared commitment to that continuing journey, our belief in the illuminating power of higher education, and our faith that sustained study can make the world a more just and equitable bind us in community. In shedding the light of your research and insight upon the domain and topic of your choosing, you have taken us all a step forward toward that better world. And Northeastern University and myself are very proud to honor you today. Congratulations, doctors. And now I would like to welcome the Dean of the College of Professional Studies, David Fields, to the podium.
Good morning. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Professional Studies, I join Senior Provost Ludden in welcoming all of you to this extraordinary day. Students, family, friends, this is truly a momentous occasion. The doctoral degree is the highest awarded at our mission-driven college, and it carries all the accompanying honor and distinction. Especially in an era of disruption, your steady focus through political turmoil, economic uncertainty, and a worldwide public health crisis is truly remarkable. You have met this challenge from many different stages and walks of life, but all of you have confidently seized this opportunity to test yourselves and to unleash your capacities to the fullest degree. When you began this journey, you started with a problem of practice. You saw something that needed figuring out, something complicated, something important, something worthy of sustained investigation. And so you rolled up your sleeves and you stepped toward it. You did so, many of you, knowing that you would be balancing that pursuit, for years. With a full-time professional career, you weighed the sacrifice you would have to make to achieve that far-off goal, and you said, this matters enough. Along the way, I'm sure your resolve has been tested. When you dig deeply enough into any question, both the question itself and your own perspective have a way of shifting and evolving. At times, you have probably felt some of your fundamental assumptions that you had internally were being challenged. Realize that the source of that challenge lay not outside of you, but in good research, the honest work you were doing, your willingness to respect the reality of the data. We do not frame a hypothesis because we know it to be the answer, and we do not confirm it simply because we want it to be the answer. We frame it to test it. We frame it, and sometimes we learn that what we thought was true, or what we wanted to think was true, just isn't. And if you want to conduct honest scholarship, we accept the facts. And that process is how our knowledge evolves. It is how our society's book of knowledge has evolved, and now you all have written your chapter. That is especially important when the work you're doing is so important to the value of Northeastern University, really anchored in real-world problems. Applying the most rigorous tools of research to the fundamental problems of practice is one of the greatest pathways to innovation. Through this process, researchers invent new technologies, address social ills, and test their research in vibrant communities of scholarship and practice. These innovations harness the best of industry and academia, and it is in this work that we expand and fortify the network of relationships at the heart of our mission at Northeastern University. Fittingly, the symbolism of the hooding ceremony at our doctoral commencement honors both the doctoral candidate's work and the network of relationships that make that work possible. The centerpiece of the doctoral degree is the dissertation research undertaken by the doctoral student under the direction of a faculty member. This relationship is demanding on both sides. Our doctoral students are already full-time professionals and leaders in their fields. Many of their faculty directors are as well, modeling success as the accomplished scholar practitioners that our doctoral students aspire to be. Dissertation directors invest themselves in the success of their students through hours and years of mentorship and through hundreds of pages of chapter drafts ahead of the final dissertation. The symbolism of the hooding embodies both humility and pride on both sides of that relationship. As faculty members welcome a new peer into their community with a gesture of familiarity, of affection, and of profound respect. In closing, I would like to remind you that somewhere back at the start of this process, you may have imagined the day your success would be confirmed and you would be recognized and celebrated. That day is today. We are here to celebrate you for the great things you have achieved and the contribution you have made to the greater good of humanity. Congratulations. The degrees will now be conferred. I ask the doctoral candidates and graduates of the Doctor of Physical Therapy or Doctor of Education to please rise. Senior Vice Provost, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates here assembled and others have qualified in all respects for the degrees in course. They have successfully completed curricula offered by the College of Professional Studies at Northeastern University and have been recommended by the faculty and the Council of Deans to be awarded the appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. After the candidates have been presented, members of the graduating class will please remain standing until your degrees have been conferred. Senior Vice Provost Ludden, I have the privilege of presenting those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees of Doctor of Physical Therapy or Doctor of Education.
This is the fun part. This is where you officially get to be doctors. So Dean Fields, by virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees of the university, I confer on you and those who have properly qualified the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy or Doctor of Education according to the curriculum in which you have qualified, with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Congratulations, doctors. Congratulations.
You did it. Thank you, Senior Vice Provost Ludden. The faculty marshals will now present the graduates for hooding. Y'all can be seated.
We invite Dr. Adam Thomas to the stage for the hooding of the candidates of the Doctor of Physical Therapy. Ronnie Adler, developmental coordination disorder and bicycle riding, struggling to achieve a childhood milestone. Christina Amade, current physical therapy perspectives of osteoporosis management. Carrie Whitcomb Chavez, developing an onboarding program for new graduate physical therapists in acute care, a quality improvement project. Rebecca Story Dunbar, Neurodynamics in LBP, a case series. Anna Maria Fern Buneo, mentorship in physical therapy. It's more than meetings. Melissa Hansen-Gar, effective exercise and Russian stimulation on balance and active dorsiflexion in a patient with neuroborreliosis. Case report. Catherine C. Howard, management of chronic plantar fasciitis with dry needling combined with electrical stimulation. Case report. Jolyn Lorraine Kittredge, can physical therapy improve severe depression in the elderly? A pilot study. Marcelo Canapik, the role of physiotherapeutic scoliosis-specific exercises in management of adolescent idiopathic scoliosis. Maria Corazon Mangan, physical therapist perspectives on rehabilitation leaders' communication, a qualitative analysis. Martha Celeste Mahila McNeely, Polypharmacy and gait speed among community dwelling and assisted living facility residents ages 65 to 75 years old. A scoping review. Christine Ann Oz, atypical vertical canal BPPV. A case report. We invite Dr. Adam Thomas to the stage for the hooding of the candidates of the Doctor of Physical Therapy. We invite Dr. Shannon Alpert to the stage to begin the hooding of the candidates of the Doctor of Education. Latyree Monique Canty, Chronicles of the Model Minority, the socialization and help-seeking behaviors of East Asian American undergraduate students at an Ivy Plus institution. David Edward Homa, Defining and Improving Higher Education Administrators' Digital Technology Literacy. Kelly Nicole Kiltz, The Pedagogy of Scientific Literacy. Amanda Julianne Nasser, Finding Purpose in History Education in the Digital Age. Taylor Marie O'Brien, Implications of High-Stakes Testing on Classroom Practices in Grades 3 through 5. Thomas Daniel Tressler Gielach, Understanding the Impact of Student Affairs and Student Services Director's Impact on the Undergraduate Student Experience, an Action Research Study. Nicole Elizabeth Wade, Actions to Achieve a Whole Teacher Approach. We invite Dr. Charisse Childers McKee to hood their candidates. Marie A. Adolph, Connecting to Opportunity, How First-Generation College Students of Color Majoring in Marketing Build and Enact Professional Networks. Jeremiah Cabot Ames, 11th grade students' experiences with summer academic assignments. James Dale Campbell, Understanding the Recruitment, Admissions, and Enrollment Experiences of Non-Traditional Students Across Generations. Leonard Kelvinson Chang, An Intrinsic Case Study Exploring the Relationship Between Expatriate Teachers' Personal Histories and Agency at a Non-Traditional Indonesian International School. Laura Dial, Transformative Leadership in Complex and Culturally Diverse Organizations through the Lens of Transformative Higher Education Presidents. Kathleen Kenny, Career Success Perceptions of Administrative Staff Women in Mid-Level Leadership Roles at One American University. Leila Korhani, Flexible Leadership in a Multi-Generational Workforce. Laura S. Plummer, Perceptions of Interprofessional Identity Formation in Recent Doctor of Physical Therapy Graduates Working in Inpatient Settings, a Phenomenological Study. Hang Soo Sol, Career Development Experiences of East Asian International Students of Contemporary Music Performance, an Interpretative Phenomenological Analysis. Ellen Whitman Stoddard, a narrative analysis of women STEM professionals' transitions to project-based teaching. Keith Kiat Truong, Understanding Donors' Motivations to Give to a Charitable Cause. We invite Dr. Kelly Kahn to hood their candidates. Elizabeth Margaret Adrian, I have something meaningful to say. An interpretative phenomenological analysis study of rural Vermont students. Experiences with academic and social agency. Carol Veronica Hernandez, I'm not like you, I'm different. A narrative inquiry study of Latina educational developers working in higher education. We invite Dr. Michael Dean to hood their candidates. Gladys Prinz, Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Practices. Impacts on Underrepresented Minorities, the Lived Experience. Michael Gerald Cashman, I could use a hand here. A quantitative examination of institutional closure profiles among U.S. post-secondary institutions. 10 years in review. We invite Dr. Sarah Ewell to hood their candidates. Brenda Scott Hillman, a qualitative exploration into the role of education as an anti-trafficking strategy for school-age children exploited for purposes of commercial sex trafficking and cheap labor in the state of Georgia. Matthew John Krogman, Social Studies Teachers' Perspectives of Higher Order Thinking Skills and Their Use in Lessons. Victoria Krugel, Recognizing the Role of Mentoring in Achievement and Teacher Retention. Amy Lashinsky, Intelligent Agents on the D2L Platform, a qualitative exploration into educator use and understanding of asynchronous course elements to promote course personalization. Rebecca M. Long, Performance-Based Assessments, Providing Equitable Measures for All. Seth Donald Robertson, Exploring the Lived Experience of Adjunct Faculty Members at a Private Religious Institution. We we invite Dr. Joan Giblin to hood their candidates. Christina Marie Egan, choosing to stay. The voluntary retention decisions of highly effective teachers in challenging school contexts. Matthew William Hepfer, Data Analytics in Grades 3 through 8, a study of performance matters in action. Cherie L. Camo, a narrative exploration of leadership skill development and transfer based on athletic participation. Danielle Lynette Hawkins, The Secret Sauce for Rapid Disruptive Change, a case study of millennial leadership and multi-generational followership in dynamic relationships. Michelle Nicole Spencer, Training to Lead, a leadership training for early childhood center administrators. Brittany Lynn Lavoie, an analysis of teacher perspectives on their role in student social emotional competency development. Daniel R. Weiss, Becoming a Head of School, a study of new heads of school in Jewish day schools. We invite Dr. Patty Mason to hood their candidates. Joan Frances Haley, Developing Student Agency for Climate Resilience, how students describe their beliefs about school experiences that shaped their sense of self and collective efficacy. Shyla Kalia Hanlon, Teachers' Perceptions of Culturally Responsive Practices and Inequalities with Black Students. Jennifer Osif Love, Aligning to the 2016 Massachusetts Science, Technology, and Engineering Curriculum Frameworks. Pre-K through 5 STEAM education, where engineering is the keystone. We invite Dr. Gail Matthews Denatali to hood their candidates. James Garland Murrell, a qualitative inquiry of clinical radiographers and radiography educators' perception of the value of continuing education. Felicia R. Carr Thomas, Black Women Transitioning from Employees to Entrepreneurs, a narrative research study. We invite Dr. Joseph McNabb to hood their candidates. Dorothy Hall Daniels. Will Alexa help ELLs learn English? Matthew L. McFadden. Cybersecurity Experiential Leadership Learning. Jane Baldwin Pollock Wirch. Lived experiences of teacher professional development. A call for the intellectualization of PD, a hermeneutic phenomenological study using cultural historical activity theory. We invite Dr. Kimberly Nolan to hood their candidates. Courtney Grace Bernard, generating relevant evaluations for sustainability, an action research study on the perceived value of community-based coalitions. Kristen Marie Brooks, increased barriers to transform between technical colleges and four-year private colleges, articulation agreements and partnerships, paving the way for a more inclusive transfer culture. Ralph Anthony Brazesi, understanding the factors that challenge students below the poverty level in a large suburban middle school setting. Christopher Dean Garniewicz, investigation into the need for fire instructor curriculum reform. Ashok D. Ghosh, how does inquiry and PLC coaching support the work of a data team? Linda A. Kasarjan, they strive to thrive. The impact of high teacher turnover on teachers who remain. Alexandra M. Cohane, implementation of social emotional curriculum terminology in elementary school. Joanna Nichols Tracy Martle, interactions between stakeholders for the benefit of career pathway instruction of 6th through 12th grade students of Maine. Kirsten Ann Moffler-Dakin, The Never Quits, understanding resilience and the lived experiences of non-traditional two-year college students from underrepresented population groups exposed to adverse childhood experiences. Julie Kim Nguyen, examining undergraduate engineering students' experiences with failures during co-op. Natasha E. Norins, Teacher Perceptions on the Impacts of Interdisciplinary Studies, focused in critical thinking strategies of gifted and talented middle school students. Jennifer M. O'Neill, How Principals Empower Teachers to Share Leadership Responsibilities in Suburban Elementary Schools. Takeo Suzuki, Examining the First-Year International Students' Experiences and Institutional Support, an Interpretative Phenomenological Analysis. Stephanie West Perazzo, Understanding Self-Efficacy in Professional Development, Clear Goal-Setting Protocols to Maximize Participant Outcomes. Elizabeth Spitznagel-Rose, Establishing Authority and Leadership Within an Environment of Research Colonialism, an interpretative phenomenological analysis of the reflections of the lived experiences of academic biomedical researchers from low and middle income countries. Michael Daniel Rossetti, Understanding the Impact that a Well-Defined Relationship Between Principals and Coaches has on teachers. Rachel Roth Sawatsky, Harms, Needs, and Obligations in University Title IX Procedures. Megan Elizabeth Shearer, Mid-Level Career Women Aspiring to C-Suite Positions in America's Fortune 500 Companies, a narrative inquiry study of how they describe their interactions with other women in the workplace. We invite Dr. Karen Phillips to hood their candidates. Andrea Lois Althea McKee, Military Sexual Assault Prevention and Response, a case study of Coast Guard male victim advocates. We invite Dr. Lindsay Portnoy to hood their candidates. Nicole Brewer, Exploring Effective Support Methods for Developmental English Students at an Open Enrollment Private University. Mary Catherine Mers Durkin, Middle School Students' Reading Engagement and Classroom Libraries. Amity Simons Goss, Collective Leadership and Co-Creative Teaming. Rachel Catherine Herline, Motivating Teachers for Mission-Driven Professional Learning. Michael Carey Horrigan, Exploring the Work Engagement of Freelancers in America during the COVID-19 era using Interpretative Phenomenological Analysis, IPA. Jaron Cans, increasing community representation in the teacher workforce, understanding the experience of school support staff. Milagros Marchesi, communication and collaboration in asynchronous learning communities. Scott John Silver Bonito, the content agnostic effects of design thinking learning on middle school students. Carolyn B. Wallace, building a building while building a culture, bringing teacher voices into the creation of a new school's culture. Beth Densmore Williams Brault, Future Directions of Sex Ed, Massachusetts. Catherine D. Wilson, Shifting the Nature of Teaching and Learning with Performance Assessment. James Matthew Williams, America's Empathy Deficit, Our Bloody Heirloom and the Invisible Backpack. We invite Dr. Harriet Rasmussen to hood their candidates. McAllister Brent Collins, Cultural Misinterpretation and its Effect on the Life Trajectories of Black Males. And Kimberly Talisha Avery, Examining the Zone, Narratives of Black Women Executives in Cross-Cultural Executive Coaching in Corporate America. Kimmel Rohan McCarthy, A Calling to Come Back, Understanding Why Nantucket Locals Revisit a Community Museum. Stephanie Elise White, Performance Feedback in Nonprofit Organizations, a narrative study of the experiences of African American women in senior leadership. We invite Dr. Karen Reese Medwed to hood their candidates. Michael Thomas Albano, Perceptions of Belonging Amongst Veteran Students at Elite Liberal Arts Colleges. Rebecca Ann Corso, Stories Matter: How Urban Charter School Teachers Seek to Cultivate a More Inclusive Narrative of American History. John Joseph Glover, Social Studies and Inquiry-Based Education: The Lived Experiences of Secondary Level Teachers in a Suburban School District. Yolette H. Ibakate, Who Else Will Show the Kids How to Get Through? A narrative research study of culturally relevant pedagogical practices of ninth grade urban public school teachers of Black boys. Douglas J. Lyons, Academic Achievement, Belonging, and Identity. Michelle Ng, Cultivating Girls' Interest in the Garden of STEM, Teachers' Perspectives. Jennifer Leigh Siegfried, Student Perspectives of Pedagogy and the Development of Autonomy, Metacognition, and Critical Thinking. A narrative inquiry study of student experiences to inform and define meaningful practice. We invite Dr. Tova Sanders to hood their candidates. Bibi Ibrahim J. Al-Ghanem, Understanding the Challenges of Recruitment and Retention of International Teachers for Private Schools within the State of Kuwait. Kim Lynetta Aline, Like Family, a case study of Black and Latina mothers' perspectives of family engagement and training needs in an early childhood program. Andrea Cox, Doom and Zoom: How the Tsunami of Distractions from the Rapid Collision of Home and Work Floods Video Call Interactions. Peter Leonard DePace Jr., Accounting for Gender: How the Market for Masculine Capital Shapes the Secondary School Journey. Taylor A. Riley, Yeah, but would you hire them? An interpretative phenomenological analysis of how employers make sense of hiring ex-offenders. Heidi Lee Subnani, The Anxiety in the Room, an IPA study of coaching as an intervention for elementary teachers with math anxiety. Laura A. Sosa, Keeping the Dream Alive, a narrative research study exploring the entrepreneurial actions supporting strategic renewal at United States community colleges as described by the college presidents during the COVID-19 pandemic. Christy Leith Teskey, Cross-Sector Social Partnerships: How business leaders make sense of their experiences within a community social change initiative. We invite Dr. Corliss Thompson to hood their candidates. Francis Lynham Gunnison, Second Language Writers' Autonomy, an interpretive phenomenological study of experiences with color-coded feedback. Jessica Crystal Fromm Harris, Agency, Authenticity, and Resiliency, understanding science teacher learning experiences to build better systems of support. Christina Marie Lincoln, exploring how early childhood faculty make sense of social justice teaching and interpretative phenomenological analysis. We invite Dr. Dan Volchok to hood their candidates. Alfred Griswold, Leadership Journey, a phenomenological research study exploring African American male community college presidents' meaning-making of career development experiences. Hawa Elizabeth Hunt, a qualitative examination of the lived experiences of individuals formerly in foster care in North Carolina and how they fostered resiliency transitioning into adulthood. Samantha Louise Streamer Veneruso, Leadership Development in Practice, a Transformative Journey.
We now invite Dr. Afi Wiggins to hood their candidates.
Shannon Elizabeth Gardner, exploring student engagement in history and social studies in problem-based learning. Justin Salvatore Dolce, exploration of the skills gap, hype, perceptions, problem. Brandy Jean Eidelman, asynchronous learning experiences in the Canvas LMS for information literacy in the community college setting. Deanna Poley Foster, determining the overall effectiveness of experiential learning in higher education accounting programs.
Congratulations to Northeastern newest Dr. Witt. Thank you. Dean Field will now announce the 2022 recipients of the Dean Medal for Outstanding Doctoral Work. This is the highest honor awarded by the College of Professional Studies to a doctoral candidate. Congratulations.
This award honors exceptional academic achievement and recognizes the author's innovation and creativity, the scope and importance of the doctoral work to a field of study, and the caliber of the author's writing. I'm pleased to announce that there are 2 recipients this year of the Dean's Medal. Dr. Ronnie Adler is honored with the Dean's Medal for outstanding doctoral work for her dissertation, Developmental Coordination Disorder and Bicycle Riding, Struggling to Achieve a Childhood Milestone. Dr. Adler studied the challenges for children with this disorder in learning to ride a bicycle. She wrote, "For children with disabilities, learning to ride a bicycle can be even more challenging. Yet, most children want to learn how to ride a bicycle despite the difficulty involved in the endeavor." Her nomination for this award noted the scholarly and clinical value of this research to other patients, practitioners, and families, and also the potential positive impact on diversity, equity, and inclusion. The social and emotional impacts for a child with this disorder learning to ride a bicycle include increased confidence in accomplishing physical tasks, independence, and peer acceptance through participation in group activities. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Ronnie Adler on winning the Dean's Medal. Congratulations. And Dr. Jay Williams is honored with the Dean's Medal for outstanding doctoral work for his dissertation, America's Empathy Deficit, Our Bloody Heirloom in the Invisible Backpack. He describes the goal of this research this way: to examine the on-campus experience of Black male visual and performing arts students at a university and predominantly white institution in the Northeast, particularly how those experiences shaped their careers as storytellers in mainstream media. In nominating James' dissertation for recognition, his dissertation advisor wrote, "This dissertation in practice has had far-reaching impact and has opened the door to a new way of supporting male visual and performing arts students, both locally and globally. Moreover, this work is exemplary of Jay's approach to action research and deep commitment to systemic change for the greater good." Please join me in congratulating Dr. Jay Williams on winning the Dean's Medal.
What's up, family? How y'all doing? I'm a bit nervous, so it's much easier to talk to family than a room full of strangers, so hope y'all don't mind. All right. First, I'd like to thank my creator and my ancestors on whose shoulders I stand. We did it. To my dissertation committee, Dr. Parenti, Dr. Spears, Dr. Portnoy, my classmates, my professor, my high school English teacher, and Dean Fields. I'm forever grateful for you all and this honor. Thank you. We did it. I'm gonna get through this, y'all. I'm gonna get through it. All right. I want to begin by sharing a little secret. Although I am standing in front of you all filled with gratitude and humility, as the honoree of the prestigious Dean's Medal Award. I am still in awe because I don't know how I made it here in one piece. To be prepared to grapple with and process your own emotional trauma of what I describe in my dissertation as America's empathy deficit wasn't in the doctoral program admission application, not in one of the course syllabi, and any of the countless book titles or journal articles that I read to get me to this moment. However, it was a much needed process to endure. It laid the groundwork for discovering new ways to think and subsequently heal. To consistently find the mental, physical, and emotional stamina to give this work the care and attention it deserved revealed parts of me that I didn't know existed. The process of self-discovery within the backdrop of the COVID-19 global health pandemic is a journey that I will never forget, and one that I will always hold gratitude for its lessons personally and professionally. I want to share with you the anchor to my dissertation. It's a short excerpt from the introduction, which was written as an open letter addressed to my undergraduate alma mater. We'll call them Storytelling University. Without finding the courage to write this letter, I am confident that I will not be here with you today. So I'd like you all to listen to this with an open mind and an open heart. Dear Storytelling University, we met in the fall of 2006 in the so-called Majestic Theater during new student orientation. Looking up at the welcome home banner in the foyer, I immediately wondered, who's home? As the assembly began, I panned the room as I do in most large crowds to notice the student to the left of me look familiar, and the same for the right, as well as the row in front and the row behind. They looked familiar not because I had known them, but because I was in a space where my black body was one of few in a sea of white bodies, and like in most moments in my education career, I felt alone in a room full of people. My invitation to your home did not make for the expression of my black culture, so I'm confident that you did not know this, but I grew up in a house where many would consider my parents old school. They came from an era where children were to be seen and not heard, a generation where the streetlights were used as more than just to see at night, but as an indication that it was time to go home before mom had to come look for you. As a child, my independence went as far as I could hear the music playing from the record player that my dad had blasting in the living room, spilling into the streets of our neighborhood. These experiences, along with many others, are essential to understand as they laid the foundation for my awareness and how I move in the world. From a young age, I was conditioned to keep my thoughts to myself. My limitations were set by the timer on the streetlights or how far I could go away from the house to where I could no longer hear the voice of Stevie Wonder's Golden Lady playing in the distance. Imagination and curiosity were curbed and replaced with hard work, good grades, and sports. Most mornings before elementary school, I would hear the voice of my parents almost in unison, echoing two words through the stairwell just before the door closed and the lock clicked, "Be safe." Sitting in that seat in orientation next to these familiar bodies and listening to all the speakers, of which not one shared the same tone and voice, dialect, or skin, felt all too familiar and foreign at once. The thoughts, feelings of questions of, do I belong? And if I do, how do I navigate in this space with this black body? I sunk down in my poorly padded seat, knees pressed against the back of another, unable to comfortably move my 6'4" frame without thinking about how oppression had lodged itself into my psyche through the years. I began searching for answers as fast as the questions that clouded my thoughts, which felt like shuffling a deck of cards, hoping on my life that I would pull an ace. It was my optimism, though, that this time would be different and I no longer would have to ignore my creative curiosity and finally let the awareness of my black body be secondary to the art that I yearn to share with the world. Early on, I had to learn the rules of survival, like knowing how to look non-threatening when walking into a store or an elevator, knowing when to stop and put your hands up when responding to police with yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, music off, all windows down and interior lights on, and for the love of God, never ever ask why you were stopped in the first place. An extreme perspective for some, but for me, can be the difference between life and death. Even in the moments that I write this letter, America feels like it's on fire. With 400 years of smoke so thick that we cannot breathe, like a chokehold or a knee pressed against the back of our community's necks. Although it still hurts, I finally have the strength to look at the headlines, read the articles, or even say out loud the names: Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and not even a week ago, less than 500 miles from this place that we sit in Buffalo, New York, Aaron Salter, Ruth Whitfield, Pearl Young, Catherine Massey, Hayward Patterson, Celestine Chaney, Roberta Drury, Marcus Morrison, Andre McNeil, Geraldine Taylor, and countless others whose breath has been taken away from them far too early. This is America. This is America's empathy deficit. Looking back at my time as an undergraduate student, coupled with raising my own beautiful Black children, creates a sense of urgency to remain focused on what I am fighting for: a world that suffocates racism, extinguishes white supremacy, and breathes air into the lungs of liberation. Despite the memories of loneliness in my life, I have learned to embrace the concept of we. From film sets to advertising campaigns, from boardroom brainstorming sessions to group projects with classmates, the we helped me get here. I challenge you all to put this notion of I on the shelf for a moment. Yes, you walked across this stage as an individual. When you were deep in your research, you read those books in academic journals. You wrote those 30-page papers. You committed to those seemingly impossible deadlines. And yes, it was you that sat in the dissertation defense, nervous, grappling with doubt and excitement, waiting to hear the words, "Congratulations, doctor. Welcome to the academy." I hope I didn't trigger y'all. But the reality of all that individual work is that most of what we've learned has been from a collective of scholars, practitioners, and thought partners outside ourselves. So I would argue that we are all here today because of many. Throughout my journey, I was fortunate to have literary heroes who I've never met personally, though I hope to one day, but have affectionately deemed family in my mind. Brilliant scholars such as Uncle Derek, Derek Bell, Uncle Eddie, Dr. Eddie Glod, my big brother Ta-Nehisi, Ta-Nehisi Coates, my big sister Nikki, Nicole Hannah Jones, Uncle Jimmy, James Baldwin, my play cousin Ibram, Dr. Ibram Kendi, Uncle Mike, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, and one of my favorites, Auntie Joy, Dr. Joy DeGrew. Hey, Auntie. It was them, along with my incredible tribe, that love me beyond words, and so many others, that have helped me to unpack the truth about this country and my responsibility as a leader in this work. I thank you. We did it. The saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, and I believe it takes that same village to change the world. We are made to work with and appreciate one another. Such sentiment needs admission of its truth. Oftentimes, we fail to remember that truth. I ask you to take a moment today to acknowledge that we need one another to ensure our own successes. We need our ancestors, parents, spouses, friends, colleagues, professors, and mentors. Them, along with our life experiences, all play a role in our growth as entrepreneurs, professionals, community leaders, artists, and activists, but more importantly, our growth as humans. We are all here today because at some point, somebody, somewhere inspired us, and now it is our turn to inspire others. I've dedicated my life to telling my stories, my story and the stories of others, so much so that the body art that you see on my neck today is a symbol known as Vishuddha, or the throat chakra. It symbolizes originality, expression of your authentic voice, and speaking your truth. It serves as my constant reminder and permanent affirmation to no longer keep my thoughts and my voice to myself to push through the discomfort of fear and judgment. And in this process, I hope to encourage everyone that I meet and you today to do the same, to share with us your story, your gifts, your truth, because all our stories matter. If you cannot be the poet, then be the poem. If you cannot be on the front lines, then speak up behind the scenes. If you cannot offer the seat at the table, then ask who was not there and why. If you cannot understand those who share their stories of pain and suffering, that's okay. Just believe them. Because you know what it feels like to be in pain, and you would never, ever want to suffer. My Auntie Joy told me that, quote, storytelling is an essential part of our education as it strengthens us, helps us build resilience, and puts things in proper perspective, end quote. Uncle Jimmy once said that not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced, end quote. So let us no longer be the United States of amnesia. Uncle Eddie said that, quote, we must examine the stories we tell each other and ourselves because our stories carry moral weight, end quote. We must face our truths, even our ugly truths, about ourselves and this country. If this world is to become a better place, even for those that don't look, sound, or think like me or you, it is not I that can fix it. In fact, it is not you that can fix it. It is us. We must be the change that we want to see. We must put in the work every single day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Y'all didn't get that. We must put in the work every single day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. I encourage you all to grab the hands of the person sitting next to you, or in the row in front, or the row behind. And while you're holding that hand, think less about the I and focus more on the we, and see how far that takes us. See how much we can accomplish so that no one, regardless of race, identity, or ability, ever again has to feel alone in a room full of people. If we are going to finally erase America's empathy deficit, the world is going to need you to think about us. Because in the end, all we have is us. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, so let's act like it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Adler, Dr. Williams, and to all of our newest doctorate holders. Doctors, on behalf of the entire academic team, your faculty and administrators, we want you to know how happy we are to have arrived at this day with all of you. You have achieved something truly remarkable. Thank you all for being here, and again, congratulations to Northeastern University's newest doctorates. I'd like to welcome back Senior Vice Provost Ludden.
Thank you, Dean Fields. Doctors, before I offer some concluding remarks, I would love it if you would stand and offer your appreciation to your family and friends who are here today to support you. Always the best moment. Our newest Northeastern doctors, the world is ever changing, but you are prepared to meet and conquer its challenges. You've made sacrifices, personal and professional, that speak to your drive, your dedication, and sense of purpose. Your love of learning has carried you to this day, propelling you to a lifetime of achievement and fulfillment. Be proud. Know that what you have accomplished is nothing short of extraordinary. And remember, Northeastern will always be there for you wherever you are. Our newest doctors, congratulations.
Will all graduates and advisors remain seated and wait for the University Marshals to lead you in the reception. We ask that the audience remain seated until the graduates have recessed and join us for celebratory reception here at Matthews Arena.